They laughed the moment she unfolded the map. It was torn, creased, and marked with strange symbols that looked more like a child's drawings than a soldier's plan. No one thought it mattered. No one thought she mattered. That laughter lasted until the commander took the map from her hands and his face went still. Asterisk, what city are you watching from today? If this story resonated with you, hit subscribe for more real stories about extraordinary people. Her name was Private Lena Holley, and she stood at the edge of the briefing tent with boots still dusty from the road. She was young, quiet, and carried herself like someone used to being overlooked. The unit had been moving through unfamiliar territory for days, relying on standard issue charts that showed roads which no longer existed and valleys that had changed shape over time. Lena had joined them only that morning, transferred in with little explanation. To most of the squad, she was just another replacement who would slow them down. The map she carried was not official. It was old paper, folded and unfolded so many times that the creases had become permanent scars. She had drawn on it by hand. Lines curved where no lines should be. Small symbols dotted the corners. Numbers were written in pencil, erased, and written again. When she placed it on the table, a few soldiers exchanged looks and shook their heads. One of them smirked and asked if she had gotten lost on the way to art school. Another joked that she must have copied it from a storybook. Lena said nothing. She only waited, her hands resting at her sides, her eyes fixed on the map as if it held something fragile. The commander had not spoken yet. He was listening, watching, letting the noise burn itself out. When he finally stepped forward, the tent grew quiet. He did not scold the men. He did not laugh. He reached for the map and lifted it carefully, like an artifact. Lena had grown up in places where maps were not trusted. Roads shifted with seasons. Rivers changed their minds. Her father had taught her how to read the land itself, how shadows fell at certain hours, how wind carved patterns that told stories to those who learned the language. When she enlisted, she carried those lessons with her. She listened more than she spoke. She watched more than she acted. During training, instructors noticed she rarely needed directions. She arrived early, found routes others missed, and corrected coordinates without drawing attention. Some thought it was luck. Some thought it was coincidence. Lena never corrected them. The mission ahead was simple on paper. Escort a convoy through a narrow pass and reach the forward base before nightfall. Intelligence said the route was clear. Lena knew better. The night before, she had walked the edge of the camp, studying the horizon, measuring distances with her eyes. She had taken the official map and compared it with what the land was telling her. The result was the crumpled sheet now in the commander's hands. He studied the markings closely. His finger traced one of the curved lines, then stopped at a symbol near the center. His brow furrowed. He looked up at Lena and asked where she had learned to mark terrain like this. She answered simply that she learned it at home. The commander returned his attention to the map. He noticed how the numbers aligned with elevation changes, how the symbols matched old military notation rarely taught anymore. He recognized a warning sign drawn near the pass, a sign used decades ago to mark unstable ground. The official chart showed nothing of the sort. The laughter outside the tent faded into uneasy silence. Soldiers leaned in closer. No one spoke. Lena explained that the pass had shifted after years of erosion. The ground there could not support heavy vehicles. She pointed to an alternate route she had marked, longer but safer. She did not raise her voice. She did not demand attention. She simply explained what she saw. One soldier challenged her, saying intelligence would have caught that. Lena met his eyes and replied that intelligence relied on reports, and reports relied on people being there. She had been there. The commander folded the map once, then again, and placed it flat on the table. He asked Lena to walk them through every marking. She did, step by step, describing how the land would funnel sound, how certain turns created blind spots, how weather would change conditions by the hour. She spoke with certainty, not arrogance. As she spoke, something shifted in the room. The soldiers stopped seeing a replacement. They began seeing a guide. The commander made his decision. The convoy would take Lena's route. There were no arguments. Orders were given, plans adjusted, and within minutes the unit was moving. Lena rode near the front, her eyes scanning the distance, her mind mapping what lay ahead. The first warning came sooner than expected. A section of the original route had collapsed overnight, the ground giving way exactly where Lena's map had marked danger. The convoy slowed, then rerouted without panic. Hours later, a sudden storm rolled in, turning paths into slick traps. Lena had accounted for that too, guiding them to higher ground before the worst hit. By nightfall, they reached the base safely. Tired, wet, but intact. Back at camp, the commander called Lena into his office. He asked her why she had not mentioned her background before. She answered that she was taught to let her work speak first. He nodded, understanding more than she said. He told her that the markings on her map matched those used by specialized reconnaissance units. Units that operated ahead of everyone else. Units trusted with reading the land when technology failed. He asked her if she knew that. Lena said she did. The commander leaned back and studied her. He realized then that the laughter earlier had not been harmless. It had been a test of character, and Lena had passed it without complaint. He thanked her, not just for the safe passage, but for reminding him that wisdom does not always announce itself. Word spread quickly through the unit. The jokes stopped. The smirks disappeared. Soldiers began asking Lena questions, not out of doubt, but out of respect. She answered when she could, guided when asked, and remained quiet when silence was enough. The crumpled map became something else after that day. It was no longer a joke. It was proof that experience can be carried humbly, that knowledge can look ordinary until the moment it saves lives. Lena never replaced the map. She kept folding it, adding new markings, letting it age alongside her. It reminded her of where she came from and why she listened before she spoke. The commander kept one thought to himself. Leadership was not always about rank or volume. Sometimes it was about recognizing truth when it appeared in unexpected hands. What did this story make you feel? Where are you watching from? Subscribe to Soul Relief Stories for more real stories that heal the heart.